My name is Tim Glasser, standing in front of the union that's supposed to represent us, and we have an issue with the election that's coming up about them allowing part-time people who's basically been laid off, giving them the right to vote, giving them the right to run for office, and it's just an issue that we're just trying to take our union back. I mean, we're supposed to be member-driven, but yet the local has its own agenda, and they're putting people in office in place to push their agenda and forcing it on us to dupe union members. And we're tired of it, and we're taking a stand.
And they want to do the thing electronically? They don't want to have a mail ballot?
Well, we don't have bylaws. We have a bylaw template. The bylaw template says that in order for you to change anything in the template, there's procedures. Well, they don't want to follow the procedures in their own bylaws. So what they end up doing was they appointed some people to the election committee, turned around and canceled the election. The election is supposed to have been done no later than March 31st of this year. They canceled the election. After several emails and people inquiring about the election, they moved forward having the election. Now they changed the procedures, so now you can't vote in person or mail in a ballot. You have to do it online. I'm running for president, and at this point, I don't even have the information to campaign to tell people how to go online to vote because they haven't even gave me that information. In fire dispatch, there's 21 dispatchers there. Out of those 21 dispatchers, only 2 people receive an email giving them instructions on how to vote. So they are strategically picking people who they want, who they believe will vote for them to push their agenda on us once again, and we're not standing for it.
And representation of the members, do you think there's a failure to represent the members?
Oh, yes it is. So what they do now is, all of us collectively, we pay our union dues. We're supposed to be represented. What they end up doing is they select shop stewards to do the work of the representatives at step 1, step 2, and following the grievances and doing all the paperwork. Then what they end up doing is when you get to a step 3 meeting with employee relations, they want you to have a meeting with the union, fill them in so they could go in and talk on your behalf as if they've been tracking this grievance from the day that it started. That's unacceptable. If we're paying you hard-earned money to represent us, you need to represent us from the beginning to the end.
I'm Thomas Leach. I believe it's all racially motivated because most of us that work outside, we're in trucks and we're out taking care of city business. At the time, while they're doing everything on email, we have no access. We don't have computers on our truck that have access to city work so we can join in on the meetings. We have no way of knowing that things have been scheduled. We're just left in the dark, mainly because our department is mainly non-European workers. Other departments have access where we don't. And it's just the same form all around this country. Let me tell it.
Willie Snowden, Sewer Department. Love being in the union, but I don't like being in the union that's not representing us right. I'm not for that. It got to be righteous for me. I got one issue that it has never been taken care of, and it's a medical issue, and it's like management came after me different ways about it, and the union really has nothing been done since February. I was told to go use your restroom on the other side of the freeway. I'm just tired of it. I'm paying too much money to you guys. Y'all taking too much from me and not representing us.
My name's Kevin Brown, Sewer Department. My issue is I was legally laid off so many years ago. Got my job back, but during the time that I was off, it hurt me financially a lot, me and my family. And for the city to turn my back and just give me the job and lose my lead job, I'm promoted down to a lower paying job. I got my job back. I'm blessed to get my job back, but to lose a job that I already have behind what the city done is not, and I feel that the union didn't have my back. I didn't get a grievance. I didn't get anything. In over 3 years, you know, for me, it just hurt me financially. It hurt, and I'm still kind of struggling behind it.
My name is Hugo Velasquez. I'm also in sewers. The issue that I have, it keeps coming back up, is when I ask anybody in the union, how many members do we still have that are still in full paying the union dues? in good standings, I can never get a straight answer. I'll get back to you. Let me talk to you offline. And then when I reach out to them, I don't even get a response back. So with this election coming up, I would like to know how many actually members are still paying union dues, so I could have at least an idea of how many people voted. Because if somebody wins and there's only 1,000 people that are still in good standings and somebody gets 1,200 votes, how do I prove that there's something going on without somebody actually telling me ahead of time, we have 1,000 members that are still paying and we had 1,200 that voted? That just doesn't seem right to me, and there's no way to, in my eyes, to prove that. Now the union sends out all these emails to you 2-3 times a week saying, oh, union power, you in this, go to this website so you can borrow money, you can do all this other stuff, but you can't get a straight answer from a union rep of something that's very important as voting. That's my issue with that.
My name is Mike Pryor. I'm here in support of all my brothers. All we're asking for is better representation from the union, and we're asking that the union be ran right, the voting be done right, so that we can have better representation.
And how have you been affected by lack of representation?
Well, I'm looking at my co-workers and myself. When we ask for union representatives to come down and speak to us, it takes a while for them to come down and speak to us. Some of our questions that we have given them, we haven't even got back answers yet from a meeting we had 5 or 6 months ago. So we're just looking for better representation from the union.
And the pandemic, the virus, are you concerned? Getting protection, proper health and safety?
Oh, yes, we definitely need proper PPEs, and we're having problems getting that too. So we're just hoping that with this that you're doing now can get exposed and get more help to what we need.
My name is Denavis Jones, and my issue or concern that I'm having with this union is this current regime. It seems that currently or whatever, they're always pushing their own personal agenda. They're never for me, seemingly, when I've dealt with them. Like Bob Dylan put it, you don't have to be a weatherman to know which way the wind blows. So it's that constant, if you will, taxation without representation. I'm constantly paying these dues, but my questions aren't answered. I constantly get ran around or just pushed one way, then pushed another way, as opposed to just someone just owning up to whatever the situation may be and giving me straightforward answers. It's always this phony like bureaucracy or this red tape where they can't just be straight up with you. And that's just, it's been like a constant norm with this regime, so I've experienced. And after a while, it's like you just get tired of just the runaround. It gets insulting, like, to your intelligence, especially when I've been there like 14 years or so I kind of know the ins and outs of the norm, so I know when my leg is being pulled, if you will. And these current regime, there's some constant leg pullers, if you will. So if they can just step out the way and let real people of substance, I guess, who really genuinely have our concerns at heart, I think we can progress. But
what are some of your issues on the job that you have? Aren't being addressed if you aren't being addressed?
Let me see. Some of my on-the-job issues. A lot of them, let's say, internalized, like management. Let's say if I'm going through like management issues, like a lot of times that goes into our jobs, you'd have to, as they say, be there, like, or be a part of it. Like if you're not in the know and they happen to be in the know, you can get manipulated or get to do things that you may not want to do, or just be constantly put in these uncomfortable situations. From the outside looking in, if you're not familiar with protocol, this and that, it can come across as norm. But if you're inside of the fish tank or the bubble or whatnot and know what's going on, then I think it lingers like on sort of bullying or just leaving you constantly just uncomfortable. So when I bring these issues up to the union, they kind of see it, I guess, as minute or what have you, and just kind of like swept under the rug or leave you on your own with it. That's just what I can think of just on the surface right now.
So you think there's a problem with bullying and harassment?
Well, I've experienced that, yes, and that's because we're left alone without this union to stand and fight for us. So this constant, like, I don't want to go so far as say it's there in bed, but clearly there's an agenda-driven reason why they don't support you fully, or not first to like take your side. It's you're more interrogated as opposed to inquired about. Is that sort of sentiment that this current regime kind of presents or represents or whatever, and that's lets you know that they're not really for you. Like you say, you know who's for you and who isn't, and clearly they haven't been for me. I'm just speaking for myself.
My name is Al Marshall. I'm a 32-year City of Oakland employee. I was a 29-year steward. I've also acted in the capacity as vice president. and chapter president in the city of Oakland. And SEIU is operating with a half-filled glass. And what I mean by that is example on this notice here, City of Oakland chapter notice September 17th. If you go down to where it references chapter officer candidates list, it tells you the position each person is running for. It gives you their name only. It doesn't give you the workplace where they work, nor do it identify them as a full-timer, permanent part-timer, or temporary part-timer. And if you look at the vice president position, the person running is a temporary part-timer. It has never been the intentions of the Oakland chapter to have a temporary part-timer represent the full-time employees in the city of Oakland. Now, the flip side is, if this takes place and the chapter president decides for any reason to retire, the vice president would become the president, which means you would have a temporary part-time employee representing the full-time chapter. That, again, has never been the intentions. And for something like this, the members don't even know this person is even in a temporary part-time position because they don't give you all the necessary information. And it's by design so that you're not armed and educated to present a valid argument. We cannot allow SEIU to run like the current administration in that other building they call the White House. Enough is enough.
Well, I guess what happened is we have two people that the union is very fond of, and they are part-time individuals. So they have created some type of deal to put them on lost time, and where the city pays them and the union pays the city back. But the problem with that is, if the union is paying them, then they are union employees. They are not city employees. And as a union employee, you cannot run for office for the Oakland chapter. You're basically hiring someone to do what you want them to do. We're supposed to be member-driven. We need to have the power shift back to where the members have a say-so. This is their careers, their livelihoods, and members do not have a voice in their own career, their own livelihood. And that is the problem that we have. We have to get people out of here that are local first, pushing the locals agenda, and we have to be more considerate of the members' needs. And that's why I'm running.
We want 10.
And the other issue is that somehow through favoritism, cronyism, or nepotism, they pick two people randomly that are TPTs to continue being paid when the rest of the over 800 temporary part-timers are at home not receiving any income other than unemployment, state disability. So why not make sure those other 800 people get some of that pie instead of them being at home like they are? And there should have been some type of process. It should have been some type of announcement, transparency, so everybody knew that there was a possibility if they put their name in the hat that they could have even been offered whatever the position it is that they're operating under the SEIU.
Far as the last election, man, we was down here at 1 o'clock in the morning. Me and Hugo Velasquez was here. They took like 50, 60 ballots, said we have to take these upstairs and count them. We tried to get them to count them down here in front of everybody. They said no. They went upstairs. About 10 minutes later, they come back. They said, Felipe has 10. Tim, you have 3. Felipe 1. But it was a total of 13, but they went up there like 50, 60 ballots. And that's the problem that we're having. They keep doing these elections to get people to do their agenda. I asked for them to do the elections in person, like we have been doing over the past 20 plus years, in person, in the parking lot. We have an empty parking lot. I was told that due to the COVID-19 and the air quality, we are not going to do any elections in the parking lot. But then I turned around and noticed that at Highland Hospital all week, they're outside in the courtyard doing a strike vote in the air, in COVID. So I don't understand what is the difference. the evidence is right there on their Facebook page. If you go to Highland Hospital, you will see those workers are out there taking the strike vote. And you said Bart? Bart. So everybody is doing the elections the way they're supposed to do them, in person or by mail. But this union decided, no, we're going to do it by email. That way we can control the list of who votes and who doesn't vote. And that's why we're here today. We want a fair process.
So you don't trust?
Oh, no. No, not at all.
No way.
No way.
Because they can't get people to work in the late night when some morning calls come in at 2, 3 in the morning. You hear talking about sending the private contractors to go do our work. And it's like, come on, man, if we had all of the staff that we had, the consent decree mandates us to have like about 80-something staff. We're at like 50. And we're still handling everything that has to be done. You know, when he needed us to step up and really push so he looked good, we did it with no return. And we're still doing it, and we do it for the citizens of our city, because 90% of us live and work in Oakland. We pay sewer tax like every other citizen, and we do the work. And you know, it's unfair.
Been employed with the city for 32 years. Well, when I was chapter president 3 terms ago, basically I was challenged with holding the business reps and staff accountable for the representational needs of the city of Oakland. I challenged business reps' accountability and their supervisors, and ultimately it rubbed some people the wrong way, and they collaborated with some of our colleagues that are members as well to undermine the 3-year term.
To the membership, when they have an election online, when most of our members don't have access to going online to vote. You know, and I expressed that to them several times.
Who did you talk to?
I've talked to Felipe, the president. I've talked to Peter, and I've written them letters. I've written them emails about this and asked them, could they please try to help the members be able to vote by coming to the yard like they used to do. I was told also that COVID was the reason why they could not come. But I explained to them that these workers are out here every day in those same yards doing the work every day. And we still doing what we need to do, and we asked our union to support us. And I was told that, well, no, they're still gonna do it this way. You know what I mean? So they disregarded what the membership asked of them. And I thought that wasn't fair to the membership who's paying dues to these people.
Every time that the city's had an issue or that we've been going on strike or anything, will come and get the sewer department to lead the strike. Last time Bart got everything they wanted, like about 5 years ago, but they came and got the sewer department to come do the strike, and we started the strike. We were the leaders of the strike, and they got everything they asked for. We got nothing. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, it's all, I'm gonna say it's straight racially motivated. My name's Thomas Leach, and it's from Libby Schaff's office straight down. When it comes out to 7101 and all of the people like Reggie was talking about that are out in the street, we're out in the street all day, every day, essential workers. Through this COVID, through the fires, through everything, and we're still last talked to whenever there's an issue. But the first to step up.
Have you been provided N95 masks?
Well,
we have a few. We have a few. We have to go in the office. We might get one a day. We have to sign our name to get one. But by the time you run that flusher or the power router, you got not just the smoke, the COVID, and everything that comes up out of this sewer system. Who knows what's being dumped? Nobody. And everybody knows everything is being dumped. So here we go. We sucking all that into our bodies with no help. You know, the fire department, they get all kind of stuff. The police department gets everything. We have to respond within 1 hour, or the city gets fined for every drop of sewage that's on the street. We're the only department that's under a consent decree from the state board, the Straight Water Board. Our department, sewer department. No other department is under a consent decree. We have to do what we have to do, no matter what. We have to get up at 3 in the morning, get out our beds and come up in here and get this work done. No one else has to do that. So they can sit up and talk all they want. All we want them to do is come bring us an election board out there. Come out there and bring the box and let us do an election. Keep it simple.
We need more support for the sewer department because, like he said, we are essential workers, and they don't treat us as such. They act like we're part of everybody else, but when they need something done, we're the first ones that they call. And we go out there, like he said, at any time of the night, all times in the morning. I'm on standby now. I work 24/7. You know what I mean, to get the job done. And at certain times I've asked for masks, and I was told that we don't have enough. And that shouldn't be done with the budget that we have in the sewer department. We should never not have enough. We're making money, right? Off the citizens. The citizens need more.
So I don't work in sewers. I represent everybody throughout the city. If you come to me with an issue, I'll take care of it. But one of the issues that the union refused to fight for our sewers is that sewers generates between $50 to $55 million a year. They are self-sufficient. They are severely underpaid, and yet their raises is tied to the general fund, and that should not be because they make their own money. They are their own self-sufficient department, and the union will not take that fight on to get the sewer people more money based off the money that they make per year.
And that's basically on our race.
Because every other
90% of our department is African American and Latino. You know, so they make sure that all that money, every taxpaying citizen, every business has to pay to a fund to support the sewer department, and the money is not being used in the department. We can't even get a mask. You know what I mean? All of us out here, none of us got a city mask because we have to go to the he's the director. Assistant director to get an N95 mask.
He keeps them in his office, and we have to ask the supervisor. The supervisor has to ask him in order for us to get a mask. That's ridiculous.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Real membership power now. Real membership power now. Stop rigging the elections. Stop rigging the elections.